Hello and welcome to our live weather coverage of a possible derecho that's going to be forming later tonight. I'll just put that down there. Alright. So let's move over. We currently do have a tornado warning. In fact, an observed tornado warning. And this is for Harper, Kansas, alright? So there is a tornado on the ground, and this is according to law enforcement. This will be continuing for 41 minutes. If you're not in that area, if you are in the Wichita area, you are in a considerable severe thunderstorm warning for 1.5-inch hail along with 70-mile-an-hour winds. And if you're just south of Wichita, or actually in downtown Wichita, then you are dealing with 60-mile-an-hour winds and 1-inch hail. A bit of a wider view, there is a tornado watch for the next 5 hours with a moderate 40% chance of 2 or more tornadoes, a probability of 1 or more strong tornadoes is low at 20%, probability of 10 or more severe wind events is both high, okay? So the same amount of confidence that they have for any severe wind event is the same confidence they have for any wind event over 75 miles an hour. Hail is very high confidence. That's not a word, I don't think. You know what I mean as well. They have a lot of confidence for this. And combined is a high chance of severe weather at over 95%. Let's look at our outlook for today. And so we're right now looking at we're looking at a moderate risk for today. And this does include Wichita. Downtown Wichita is in this moderate risk for today. There's a slight risk up towards Denver, Fort Collins, Torrington. So those areas, you are in slight risk, but your threat is moving to the east now. In fact, your threat has just about an hour left. We just got an update to our tornado warning. It has been downgraded to radar indicate, so no longer is a confirmed tornado on the ground, but still stay in your safe places. I would not be totally surprised to see an extension for Conway Springs, Argana, and places such as that. But over here, your threat's basically ending pretty soon here, so our next SPC outlook will probably have them cutting out your area of the risk. Now, our enhanced risk is for hail and wind. Now, Kansas City, you're just outside of that. Topeka, you're just outside of that. But we do have places like Joplin and Dodge City inside of our enhanced risk for today. And our moderate risk, like I said, is for Wichita. Tornado threat is about 5%, or a slight risk level of tornadoes within 20 miles of any given point inside this brown area. Now, Joplin, you're in this. Wichita, you're in this. Bartlesville, Tulsa, Dodge City, you're like half in this. And then we have our wind threat. Our wind threat is our main, this is what's giving us our moderate risk today, for the chance of a possible derecho later tonight. This is a 45% hatched wind threat that will be, again, for Wichita, same areas as our moderate risk area. So Wichita, Greensburg, we just got a second tornado warning. Whoa, this one's in Pennsylvania. We'll get to that in a second here. But so what we're looking at here is, all that. Hail, 30% hatched region. In fact, you have a hatched region over here towards Denver. Like I said, your risk is basically ending shortly, so you shouldn't have to worry too much about that. And tomorrow, we have another major risk of severe weather at an enhanced risk currently. This is just one away from our moderate risk today. This is another very large 5% tornado risk, including Chicago and a little bit Detroit. But Detroit gets perfectly cut in half by this. Now, I would not be surprised to see a 10% hatched region somewhere between Indiana and Illinois, towards anywhere from St. Louis and Springfield to Fort Wayne. Wind is our main qualifier for enhanced risk at a 30% threat for damaging winds. Hail is not as much of a concern tomorrow, but there is a concern for it at a 15% region, all the way from the OKC Metro and Dallas, all the way up to around Detroit and Chicago. Now, on day 3, we have more severe weather in the Mid-Atlantic and Northeast here, all the way from Charlotte up to Canada. This does include the nation's capital. The probabilities for this is a 15% chance, aka a slight risk for severe weather. Now let's check out this tornado warning, and there you go, there's our rotation. You clearly see the rotation there. Oh, there's not 123. Alright. So you can clearly see our rotation. This is heading towards New Bethlehem, Kellersburg, Wind noon. It does not seem like it's on the ground. That could change very rapidly, so stay sheltered there. I do think that, yeah, this radar's down, so we're going to have to use this radar for this storm. Now, I believe that's our rotation. I think it's recycling here. Kind of take a look at that. Yeah, look at that. Oh, wow. It's definitely recycling. That's an insane frame. Whoa. So as it recycles, we'll keep you updated. Good look at you.
Kind of.
You see how this can put you up here? Yes, I can. Alright, so Corey Gherkin will be up here for anyone. So once again, this is a tornado warning just southwest of Wichita. We have this fellow, Storm Chaser Rob, as well, who has a great view of the exterior of the storm here. So we're just gonna let's go back to, not to mention we do have flash flood warnings all around Pennsylvania right now, including Pittsburgh area, just north of Pittsburgh Metro, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Johnstown, Roaring Spring. All these places are under these flash flood warnings. Some of these are observed, others are radar indicated. Up here, Oil City. In between all these is our tornado warning, of course. Still very tight rotation, surprisingly tight for our risk here, which is a marginal risk of severe weather, which, by the way, we need to talk about. 2% tornado risk all the way from Virginia Beach to Hagerstown. This does include DC, almost includes Baltimore, but does not quite. Wind is a 5%. I believe hail is also, no, hail is not a threat in the Atlantic regions. Now we can look at these storms a bit better with the composite. You can actually see a bit of a bowing segment. I don't know if you could see with the other radars. That one's still down. Oh, you can't see a little bit, but you can see these really strong winds going into Wichita right now. But you can see that bowing segment really well right here. So that is definitely a concern. But we still, of course, have that tornado warning right here to the south. And it might just, I don't know what they're going to do with this. It's a bit messy right now. I believe the storm's undergoing a cell merger. Definitely is. It's absorbing this right here. So they might expand it. They might not. That I really couldn't tell you here. But we could look right up here. That expires just now. Yeah, a lot of these are expiring. So, yeah, we'll have to see here. I do think I think it's gonna try to do it again down here. I think this. I don't know. That might just be. I don't know. That could just be updraft. I guess it would be downdraft. But also, you can see a little bit of a hook forming here. So I'm thinking if this cell's breaking away. And yeah, I think this cell's gonna be breaking away here, and we might need to get a new tornado warning. But for this cell instead of this cell. In fact, I think we just got an update here. And yeah, so they just shortened this a little bit. Still tight rotation up here in Pennsylvania on top of Wood Noon. Still heading towards Putneyville, Seminole, distant Kellersburg. All those areas, you still got a tornado heading for you. And I think, does he have a wall cloud? There might be a wall cloud here on Corey Gherkin's feed. He is on our tornado warned storm, so I would not be surprised. Let's see what he's saying about this. Saying a lot of nothing about this, so we're gonna bring him back up here. Just like that. Alright. He is stationed right here, I believe, probably looking, he might be looking at this cell. I do wish it did tell us. But here is Corey Gherkin. You know, there's a lot of really... So that's trying to regrow its hook there. So you could see that being rewarned. Still bowing segment in Wichita, along with a pretty decent hail core right here. And maybe, no, that couldn't be rotation. That'll be, yeah, that couldn't be rotation. But man, look at these strong winds entering Eastboro. 86 miles an hour gusts. Would not be surprised if we got some kind of upgrade. Maybe not to destructive, but possibly to considerable on this storm here in Wichita. Okay, so it does look like they're going to be letting this expire here. They're probably going to cancel this warning now that the storm's exiting the polygon. But that structure is really, I mean, it's really impressive, so they might reissue it later on here. But we are currently looking at a. I think they might have just updated this. I don't think so. No major upgrades or anything or updates. But they have downgraded this to a tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning. This is considerable, however, with 1.75-inch hail. So, if you're in Wellington, Argona, Millen, Mayfield, this is all in Kansas, Conway Springs. You do have a tornado possible tag, severe thunderstorm warning heading right for you, so be aware.
Yeah. I think this thing just went stupid on us. Gosh!
Oh, bye-bye Corey Gherkin. His feet just died. That's mighty unfortunate. But looks like he might be taking a left here momentarily, is what I'm gonna think he's gonna do. He's probably gonna do something very different, because I am not the brightest. We did lose our tornado warning here, but we still have our tornado warning here in Pennsylvania, surprisingly enough. We have our only tornado warning right now is in Pennsylvania. This will last for 9 more minutes. This is still rotating on top of Kellersburg. It does look like it's sliding up a little bit. But man, it's such a bean. It's a little bean. What's the updraft looking like? It's not even a super great updraft. I'm shocked it's lasted this long. I'm surprised I'm shocked actually that this thing is actually trying to become tornadic. I'm not surprised that's not lasting much longer. That's crazy. But still Boeing segment on that. That's wild. That's a crazy looking storm. Did we just send an update? That is an update to our tornado warning up here. Still looking at one tornado warning. Corey Kirkland's looking at something. That's either a wall cloud or a shelf cloud. Either way, it looks crazy. Yeah, there's some heavy winds behind this. They're probably going to upgrade this to 70 miles an hour here. Oh, he's going down windy. That's a dead end, Corey. Corey, that's a dead end. Come on. It's a dead end, Corey. Come on, man. Crazy structure on this thing, though. Oh my gosh. Woo. Oh, hello. Look at that thing rolling. That's definitely a shelf cloud. But look at that rolling in. You definitely got some hail behind that as well. We got some lightning. Yeah, look at that thing roll on into town. So there you have Corey Gherkin intercepting this crazy shelf cloud over here in Shawnee County in Kansas. Let's go back to our tornado warning in Pennsylvania once again. Is this thing... No way. Is this thing handing off right now? So we might have a new rotation forming. That's crazy, bro. What? So we might have a new rotation forming. This is the old one. This might be a new rotation trying to form, so they might have to extend the tornado warning. Which is crazy. So not expecting that. Oh, game just got a second tornado warning. This one is actually in, where is this? Colorado. Whoa. All right. Whoa. Holy. So, yeah, this is a very valid tornado warning. Here's your rotation. Right in here. There's a third one. Where's this one? Another one in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania tornado outbreak? Well, that one's got a real hook on that. All right. Well, we have 3 tornado warnings. What in the world? All right. So this one is just north of Hancock. And, I mean, it's heading to really pretty rural areas, but Amaranth, Point View, Dot, Buck Valley, Stony Break, you know, all those areas, there is a possible tornado moving through your area right now. Back here momentarily. I think it's doing it. I think it's doing it. That's crazy. I think it's really doing that. I don't think it. It might be. I'm not quite sure actually. Okay, they did extend that severe thunderstorm warning. Did they? Oh, radar's back up. Yippee! All right, so that's back up. That's good. Good to know. This might be our that's gonna be our next problem right here. So here's gonna be that's probably gonna be our next tornado warning right here. Probably not that big. So it's gonna be our next tornado warning, I'm calling it. And here we have our winds that just went through. Don't tell me. Oh, it's actually, wait a minute. Oh, it's not the one I just pointed out. Or is it this time? That's an update. Let's be this one updated? No, maybe. Okay, it was this one. They're letting it expire, so we're down to 2 tornado warnings here. With that, we now have 13 severe thunderstorm warnings as well. But, so here we go. Yeah, this B-word in Pennsylvania? That's crazy. Now, a B-word is this little hole in lower values that you're seeing there. So, this would be the hook. So this is the storm, and it's causing, because it's closed off here, it's causing a little B-word. And that just is either a sign of rapid de-intensification or intensification. And judging by this couplet, it does look a bit tighter than before, so it's probably intensification. Unfortunately, and I think Corey Gherkin's storm is rotating once again here. I think it might be here. I think Corey Gherkin's storm is once again rotating. see that rotation right in here. I think he's looking right at the base of the wall cloud. Man, what a storm. What a storm. Alright, so here's Corey Gherkin in Shawnee County, looking at this rotating wall cloud. See, the front is moving to the right, the back's moving to the left. So you got this rotating wall cloud right here, its seam. And man, what a system. Okay, this thing is definitely rotating a lot. I think it's handing off here. So this tornado is going to be recycling, meaning that this storm has kind of let go of this rotation up here and is bringing the energy back down here. So this is going to be our new area of interest right in here. Oh my gosh. Whoa! Look at that. That's a Boeing segment right there. Now that is indeed a Boeing segment. There you have those strong pockets of winds. Man. So here's your downdraft right here. Here's your updraft. So I will be moving speed functionally due east. This portion right here might actually be moving a bit east and northeast, so it might collide with this at some point. But so this would be, just go back to this tornado warning. So that's, I don't think there's been a radar update since we last looked here, so we'll have to skedaddle from there. Let's look at Colorado. So this is still very worthy of a tornado warning. In fact, it might be on the ground. There is a chance this thing is on the ground. And oh my gosh. So what I'm talking about when I say it might be on the ground is you see these blue colors in this little pocket. This little pocket right here. You see these blue colors. And, well, now you don't. They do seem to be moving. Now, if you look here, if I just hover my mouse there, you can see the B word, like what I talked about before. You see these blue colors lining up perfectly. Put my mouse in the middle, boom, there's the middle of the reds and blues. And that's where you had the hook. So this could be on the ground right now. Alright. We did get a new friend. This is intensifying. This rotation is rapidly intensifying, and that is a very defined B word. So we are going to have to definitely be cautious here. With that being said, this might do something here. I would honestly say if you're all the way out here in Sharpie, is that seriously how you pronounce that, or is it Sharpay? Or, okay, never mind. Koval, or Koval, Needmore. There's definitely a few people here in Needmore. Need more houses. And You got lightning all the way out here by Johnson's Mill, Palm Run, Warfordsburg. Okay? So honestly, I would put all you guys under a warning as well, in Dickey's Mountain as well. You know what? Let's look here. We do got a little bit some blips forming over by the Sykesville area, Olney, Ellicott City, Landover. Got some more blips over by Athens. That might not even be a blip. That's not a blip. Never mind. You know what is a blip? So these are all considered blips. Especially this right here, that would be a blip. Could develop into a supercell in the future. Corey's about to get it, bro. Corey's about to get hit here. But once again, if you're in Wichita, stay in shelter for about 40 more minutes. It is still coming. It's still going. But there is some aftermath storms coming for you here as well. Corey's about to get a strong gust of wind.
I think so.
It's still there.
You scared it now.
Yeah. My bad.
Corey's trying to get out of there. But at the same time, let's look back at our tornado warnings. This rotation, oh, whoa, hold on. Major rotation right over here. So there's some major rotation up north of where it originally was, I think down here probably. Not. This is the original rotation actually. I have lied to you. But that is major rotation right there. So let's go over to Pennsylvania. There's actually a flash flood warning trailing this thing, but that's definitely intensified rotation. So I don't know, that could touch down pretty soon if it were to touch down. That thing keeps intensifying, so I would just keep an eye on it right now. There's no need to panic over it. But there is a concern. Corey's getting out of there. His location's not updating, which is a bit odd, but he's probably heading east right now. I would have to think he's heading east. Look at Storm Chaser Rob here as he looks at these beautiful trees. Look, I think this is Ryan Pitt. And he has a wide shot of the storm. Oh my gosh. It's a very shaky view, but it's view nonetheless. So, let's look back at this storm that is not quite posing too much of a concern anymore. This storm definitely is, however, because we might have a little bit of a QLCS spin-up trying to happen over here. So, yeah, let's look back at this storm. Still crazy rotation. I would not be surprised if this is actually on the ground without our knowledge. So there's a very real chance this is on the ground. There's no chasers to show us. That's just... Whew. Pennsylvania. But rotation seems to be letting up a little bit. I would not be surprised if they let this expire, possibly. Still stay sheltered for the next 20 minutes in Amaranth, Buck Valley, Stony Brook, Point View, and Dot. Got 22 minutes to stay underground. This will be heading over you shortly. Now, it does kind of look like something from this radar. You know, I'm thinking. I do kind of see a hook here. I mean, I kind of messed up that drawing. And look, you can see on the reds, that's a classic supercell shape. So we might see something come out there in the future when it's not so crowded where it is. But right now, that shouldn't be too much of a concern. It's definitely something to be looking at. Yeah, this is definitely probably could be let to expire. So we do actually have a severe thunderstorm warning in Illinois. Whoa, rotation in Illinois, not on my bingo card for today. That isn't our marginal risk. So is anyone in any tornado threat though? It is not, so it'll have to be shocking if that's the thing to produce. But there is some rotation with this, so Columbus. We got an update to our Colorado tornado warning. Trinidad. I mean, this is an incredible rotation signature. So you need to, if you are in Trinidad or know anyone in Trinidad, Colorado, or El Moro, anything in this red polygon, this is all in Colorado, tell them to get underground or in the most far away from windows, interior room, get underground, because this is, I mean, you're seeing these really bright colors spilled on your screen. You might not know what they mean, but just think about it this way: 68 miles an hour plus, 52 miles an hour, over 100 miles an hour. That's coming right for them. Alright, so they gotta be underground, because that could be doing serious damage. Because the winds could be slower on the surface or faster. This is a tornado, after all. Now, it's not observed at the moment, but it could go observed any second here. So, gotta act like it is observed and get underground if you're in Trinidad or El Moro. It looks like these are trails, some roads. If you know anyone on these trails or roads, get them out of there. You know, all these black boxes would be houses, businesses that would all be getting obliterated by this tornado if it were to hit. So with that in mind, go tell anyone you know living there to get underground. Now if we go back to Wichita here, they still got problems of their own with this major storm moving through downtown Wichita right now. You know, this is in fact, we now have a considerable flash flood warning for the Wichita area. So, man. Take a look at this. Not much we're seeing there, but, you know, Corey Gherkin is on this major storm over here with 2-inch hail, and it's a warning says 60-mile-an-hour winds, but I would argue this has at least 70-mile-an-hour winds here. So Corey Gherkin's heading south here, as you can see, but he is giving us a view from his rear camera of this major storm. In fact, I think that's a mesocyclone churning in the clouds up there. So absolutely insane. I would not be surprised to get a tornado warning on this at some point soon. And oh man, that is just not good. All is being taken from Shawnee County as well. Let's go to Pennsylvania. I think they're gonna let this expire. I want to see why to keep this, honestly. Station's really lighting up here, so don't come off your safe spots yet, but in 13 minutes, you should be safe to do so. $70-mile-an-hour winds, considerable severe thunderstorm warning for areas just east of Wichita, in Kansas, up to El Dorado. I think Corey's trying to show us something, but I'm not sure what. There's another storm chaser right behind him. Maybe he's trying to show us the storm chaser. I don't know. Let me see if he's talking about it.
That might just be for, I zoomed in on it, I can't see the left edge, I see our right edge.
Copy that. It's just like they're real suspicious. I can only see a right edge looking out my window, but I'm going to try and go east up here because now we're kind of getting pretty far away from it, so.
Yeah, this thing needs to start tracking southeast, stay with its boundaries. Yeah, it looks better on the camera than it does with the eye.
Yep. Certainly looks like that is the mezzo, especially on the Wichita radar. You can see the little cut that it's doing right there on it.
Alright, let's look back in Pennsylvania at our tornado warning that's now actually exiting a polygon. So they're either going to reissue it or they are going to let it expire. And I would me personally, I would let it expire, but it could go either way. It could just be a cautionary warning. Colorado, you still got a pretty intense rotation towards El Moro and Trinidad. And be sure, this is in Colorado. You can see Corey Gherkin's feed up in the top left. He's in Kansas right now. But he's watching a mesocyclone that could be producing a tornado. Right here, that's what he's looking at. You can see this major RFD with this supercell. I mean, I believe this would be the hook right here. And radar's gonna update as soon as I start drawing. Thank you. You know, you can see the rotation right there. Here's Corey right down here. He's on West 80th Street South in Kansas. And our Colorado tornado warning has been allowed to expire. So we are down to one tornado warning. Whenever they expire, it got updated manually. I don't like that. We could go back to Pennsylvania. They have extended that warning. So this now includes Warfordsburg, Johnson's Mill, Plum Run, Dickey's Mountain. And this is the National Weather Service and State College. So this is heading towards the Mason-Dixon line and Hagerstown, which is quite populated. So we're just gonna hope that this thing stays to the north, because the current track it's going on is, I mean, that's what they're shifting south a little bit, which if anything will probably shift north, so it might not even cross to Maryland at all. But there is still a tornado warning out there. And look at the supercell. Yeah, this is quite impressive here. I have a feeling that, yeah, rotation's a lot clearer on this radar. Man, look at that. That's quite wild. Here's Storm Chaser Rob giving us a close view of the rotating mesocyclone. We're gonna be muting that. What in the world is happening there? Ryan Pitts giving us a nice view of the car in front of him, and Corey Gherkin is up top. There's a view of that, and there goes his stream. Yeah, so that's gonna stay going for a little bit here. For Plum Run, Dickies Mountain, Warfordsburg, Johnson's Mill. So if they were to extend this again, that would they'll meet the Mason-Dixon line. Possibly include places like Dry Run. Next expansion does happen, and we did get a new. Whoa! 4 inches? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Whoa. This is insane. Crazy storm. 60,000. It capped it. This storm maxed out the scale. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this storm maxed out the scale. That is insane. This is an insane storm that has a lot of power behind it. So, he's okay. I'm not too surprised by that. Internet's probably not that great inside of a major supercell. I think we lost Rob. Or that was Rob, wasn't it? Yeah. We're missing someone. But, alright. Wichita, you are still under a flash flood warning. This is observed. Emergency management has confirmed flash flooding. In fact, urgent flash flooding, labeled with a considerable tag inside of downtown Wichita and surrounding areas to the north and west. And that is blue. That is blue hail. Alright, oh my gosh. Man. So, oh, man, that is just incredible. If you look here, I mean, that was the hook we were working with. That is insane. But it's not, it's just contamination, but oh my gosh. Here's who we were missing. Ryan Pitt. Looking at Verizon. I would be surprised if he keeps going straight. I would think he's going to turn left here momentarily. Watch this, watch this. He's going to turn left. He's going to turn left. Left. He's going to turn north. Left. Come on. He stopped. Oh, he's going again. He stopped again. Come on. We don't need his anticipation. He turned north. What did I say? What did I say? This is insane. What's going on up here? That's like really concerning me. I'm just gonna go on composite for a second here. Just look at that. Holy man. Oh man. Hate when that happens. I mean, just look. The hook is so big that you could see it on the composite radar. Right, that's how large this hook is. This is like an look at the rotation. This thing could be producing right now. I still think the rotation is a little bit too broad for that, but this thing should have a tornado warning in my opinion. But we're gonna go to our actual tornado warning in Pennsylvania, and I mean it's not that impressive. I'm just gonna be blunt with this. It's not too impressive here, but I will say that my severe thunderstorm counter is glitching and moving for whatever reason. I do not like that. Okay, we're over here now, I guess. Yay. I'll give a hip hip hooray for severe thunderstorm encounter being annoying. Hip hip hooray! Alrighty. So we still have a tornado warning for Plum Run, Dickey's Mountain, Johnson's Mill, and Warfordsburg. Still heading east-southeast here, but functionally due east. After this will be Sylvan, Yeakleville, I think, Caseysville, Claylake, and Shimpstown. Also, Mercersburg could also be a part of that list. This velocity is so wild. Let's see if he's still showing oil. No, he's showing something.
Although it does look like we got a new hook forming right here on this cell right here. Just
You
south
got your
of-
location
just
on
south
it?
of-
Where are we?
We're right here. See your dot?
Turn this on.
It's on.
Put it in storm chaser mode.
It is.
It wasn't either. It would have an orange dot on there for you. We're going south. We're going south.
Going right into hell.
We're fixing to get slammed by bigger hail to the north.
All right. Helpful conversations for weather coverage. Yippee! Whoa, hold on a minute. That's concerning me. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. I just got jump scared. That's all. Got a little jump scared. Okay, we're gonna go back to Pennsylvania. 11 more minutes. But honestly, I give it 2. I give it 5 minutes before it goes bye-bye. if it doesn't go bye-bye in 5 minutes, I don't know. Do I give myself a challenge? No, I don't. I like not doing that. Yeah, let's go back to Corey Gherkin's storm. And he's in Wellington right now, and my camera keeps moving for whatever reason. It's because I'm following him. No. Alrighty, so let's see here. Let's see what he's talking about. Alright, so not much talking whatsoever. But for anyone new joining here, you have a moderate risk of severe weather with multiple areas of interest for tornadoes, including the Richmond, DC, almost Baltimore, Hagerstown, Martinsburg, Frederick, Thurmont, Tannytown, I think. It's either Tannytown or Tannytown. Westminster, Ellersburg, Urbana, Charlestown, Canton Bridge, Winchester, Stevens City, Leesburg, Germantown, Columbia, Silver Spring, Dale City, all these areas. And a major line of thunderstorms just went through Wichita. And there's a major supercell down here to the south with incredible 4-inch hail with this tornado, or not, it's probably soon to be tornado, let's be honest here. This is not like tornado warning worthy rotation, I'm just gonna be honest right there. Well, there's your storm, and with not only insane wind speeds, that's not 60 miles an hour. They do have a tornado possible tag on this, which I didn't before, which makes me a bit happier, gives me a bit more hope in humanity. But I think Corey's gonna be chasing the hail that this storm is producing, because it is like through the roof. It's breaking the scale. The size of this hail, it's breaking the scale. And rotation is still quite broad, quite weak, but is still there heading into Sylvan in the next couple of minutes. once again, Pennsylvania, deep southern Pennsylvania, in the area of Mercersburg and McConnellsburg. Also in the general area of Hagerstown and Hancock. We do have a tornado warning, in fact the only one in the entire country right now, for Plum Run and Dickey's Mountain. Now, I think this should be allowed to expire here as it moves out of the area, but you still got 5 more minutes, so stay sheltered in case this thing rapidly intensifies. You know, we got time for everything, and let's just look down here for a second. Look at this tropical storm has going to be making landfall in Mexico here in the next few days here. Here's June 19th at 2 a.m. Category 2 hurricane. So we'll be making landfall sometime between 2 a.m. and 2 p.m. on June 19th, but that's not what we're here for, so let's go back to Wichita area. And that's rotation, and that's there's a relatively intense rotation with that. In fact, right here, we're looking at a tail cloud, right? No, that looks to be some kind of tail cloud. I'm gonna take it as tail cloud. I believe this is Ryan Pitt. Maybe I'll turn this car here in a little bit, but you know, that's what we're looking at here. Back to our tornado warning. We have, once again, rotation from going away from our radar site down here by Brambleton and Carter's. So it's going away from our radar site, coming towards, and you have our rotation meeting right here in the middle. This is very broad and not very intense, but we do have a tornado warning for the next 3 minutes. So take shelter if you haven't already, and just stay there for a few more minutes here. It is almost over, so you shouldn't have to worry about it for too much longer. Alrighty. I don't know what that was. And they just let that expire. So there are no more tornado warnings, which is finally no more tornado warnings. So with there being no more tornado warnings, we can focus here on this mess. So, oh man. Just adjusting some things. And so here we are watching this definitely more than 60-mile-an-hour storm enter Wellington. I do wish we had a camera or a chaser there, but it's quite okay. Here's Rob. I don't know what he's backing out of. He's backing out of rain, I guess. But so here we go. We have a last hurrah in Wyoming and Colorado right now. But it is probably non-severe storm. I could believe this was 60-mile-an-hour winds. Close to surface, so oh my gosh. Let's see if he's pointing his. Nope, he's going down the dirt road. Alright, bye bye. What I'm gonna do here is we are probably just gonna. Alright. So, currently we are looking at Corey Gherkin's feed. Gonna put him right back up there. As his major supercell with a rotation right by Wellington makes its way towards Corey Gherkin. And Ryan Pitt, or not Brad, whoa, what am I saying? A little bit of a recap. Wichita did just get hit by a major line of storms, bringing a big punch of wind. Currently no damage reports coming out there from what I can tell, but we do have several supercells that have derived from that, and they're definitely trucking along, to say the least. Current labor of skill. What is happening over here? It's alright. Sure, we'll go with that. Alright, here's what we're really looking for here. So I wonder if we can probably see this one from this radar, right? Pikeville? Oh, this is Ryan Hall, yo. Here we have Ryan Pitt facing back towards the storm, facing the danger as it approaches his location. Alright, so I'm thinking we could get some kind of maybe tornadic portion of the storm near Wellington to start doing something here, so we got to keep a watch on that. So here is Corey Gherkin going south from Oxford, chasing this supercell right here, which might be trying to form a tornado here in the near future, but it's kind of hard to tell with all the contamination. So we're gonna look at this radar to find out. And I mean, here's your evidence right here. It's broad at the moment, but I mean, it's the right location. Got maybe a little mini one down here. I mean, look at that. They line up, so you could argue that this is a tornadic supercell. With that being said, this rotation down here is really ramping up. It's quite concerning. It's really ramping up, like really. So I'm a little bit concerned with that. So I think I do have a couple mesoscale discussions to look at. Heavy rainfall for Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia, and a little bit of Ohio and Kentucky. Once again, for Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, and areas around Huntsville, Alabama, the rest of Alabama, and parts of Georgia and Mississippi, Arkansas, more heavy rainfall. And here you have what the main ones are for a possible severe thunderstorm watch over here in between Colorado and Kansas. And right here with the possibility of a 100 to 130 mile per hour tornado in this region here, talking about probably this supercell right here, which does look to be possibly rotating So we can be keeping an eye on that.
Oklahoma Panhandle, about 20 minutes away from this isolated supercell. They just put an MD on it for an isolated discrete supercell for multiple hours with tornado potential.
Yeah, they'll probably do it.
Considerable for 2-inch hail. And
Man, the wind inflow is cranking on this thing. We should be doing something. Anna, how you doing?
my dinner ready, so I will be back shortly. I think I might still have
Hey, wow, this inflow is almost destructive. Good God. Crankshaft, what's going on? Should have set it to Wumbo. Always glad to have you, Crankshaft. Man, we should really try to get to freaking Oklahoma, Texas border, I guess. That storm looks beautiful by itself. Yeah, not lowering. It's just scud. Just skewed. Scuddy McScudface. Yeah, Scud does look like it's rotating, but it's a really weird spot. And here comes the CGs. We could get Spicy Pits on the news. Breaking news with Spicy Pits! Heather, what's going on? How you guys doing, Dio?
Oh, we're just getting cord. How about you?
Oh, just sitting back in the CD garage. Is that the hail big or no?
I'd say there's definitely at least some limes in there. I just want to get out of it, but I can't tell like where the hail core is and isn't.
Tell you what, it sure is peaceful out here. Fridge, what's going on? Yeah, Carrie, she is definitely one of us. Well, there's the boundary. Yeah, I don't know what to say about this. Like, stuff keeps firing out the boundary and just plowing into this. I think it's just gonna be a big rain bag.
Yeah, I think that's kind of all it is. It's kind of just a decent amount of hail in it. I don't really see the tornado potential anymore.
Yep, it's just turning into a...
Connor is out of here.
Copy that. Where are you going to try to make it to tonight?
Well, I haven't decided. Probably somewhere on 40, like Raleigh, St. James area. I just hate that the hotels along there, they like bump them up because they know there's nothing there, so they're always 200. But it is what it is.
So, well, depending on when we leave, I mean, maybe I can try and snag you something.
Copy. I plan on stopping in Joplin to lift and get food, so depending on how close you guys are when I get done with all that, I'll either book my own or we can try and coordinate again.
Yeah, copy that. I mean, I don't plan on doing any sort of lifting today, so assuming we can start relatively soon, we should be able to catch up.
Copy. Yeah, that's what I meant. I figured you guys wouldn't be stopping for anything, so we might end up pretty close. But I'll probably try and push it decently far tonight. I'll probably ideally be driving until like I feel like that's probably as far as I'm going to be able to make it, but we'll see.
I hope like heck I can push it that long. I didn't sleep for crap last night or the night before. I'm already dragging.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's going to be an early show, and these MCBs, they like to go fast. So, which I'm not be playing any games. I'm going to make sure I'm easy. I'm going to overshoot it before I undershoot it.
Wish I would have pushed towards Oklahoma, Texas, though. That's probably going to do it.
My GPS, just like a default. It wants me to go back up through Wichita, up through Kansas City.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more Indiana. I could be wrong, and I might have to adjust, but I'm thinking it's more going to be northern Indiana. Again, I could be wrong. I could have to adjust and drive further in the morning because of it, but that's what I'm kind of betting on.
I so wanted to turn back there. Oh, God. Bless it.
South Bend.
Yeah, like Urbana to Lafayette up towards South Bend, maybe to my house. Just kind of like the northern half of Indiana.
So they're like gonna be up there, and then because you're home, if you scared of.
Hello, hello. We are back. I have a massive severe thunderstorm warning for here in 3 states: Colorado, Kansas, and Nebraska. Wow. So who had the audacity to issue this? Goodwin? Huh. So that'd be correct, wouldn't it? We lost Corey. Hold on, we get him back, No, he's gone. Yeah, we lost his feed. Hopefully he comes back.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Oh my gosh. Alright, that's just clear air, but holy.
Not saying you get the state for it, but like this thing is just like trying to do one of those little PLCS things.
Should have a tornado warning right now. Really should. Who's the office here? Albuquerque, come on.
Funny, we look south of Oxford.
Albuquerque. Why is Albuquerque issuing this?
But the inflow is like freaking bringing tree limit stuff down now. Dude, the freaking power crews out here working on lines and there's freaking CG striking everywhere. these little puppies freaking loose. Puppies. Now it's warned for baseballs.
I just hit that town. Copy that. I'm stopping for a quick time 100, then we'll be behind you. Unless Garrett wants to stay for the QLCS, that's not going to happen. Yeah, again, obviously zero pressure. Hotels are probably a lot cheaper now that I'm going this way, so zero pressure to just leave with me. The pressure for me is that I'm 11 hours from Chicago. Like, I'm going to have to get moving if I even have a chance of chasing tomorrow. That was my thing. I know if I waited, this is pretty much the limit for me right now. I think even as it is, I'll probably only get 6 hours. And any less than that, especially having the next day to probably have to drive back out to the Northern Plains, it's just not feasible. So I'd rather stop chasing the trash windbag and get a shot of supercells tomorrow and supercells in the Northern Plains the next couple days after.
Hello, you guys still there? Keep losing Starlink. Okay. Ooh, that scared the crap out of me. Hello? My God, this is just turning into one freaking big blob of rain. What is It's trying to get a rotation right behind it. That don't make any sense.
Alrighty. So let's look back over here. There's some Corey Gherkins on. A destructive, severe thunderstorm with the winds in excess of 60 miles an hour, probably 70. I think it's been 70 for a while now, and 2.75-inch hail. We also have this tornadic storm down here in the Oklahoma Panhandle in the Perryton area that seems to be the beginning of our main event tonight. So if I were to draw some kind of polygon, probably have to be that. Yeah, it's not very good though. Just like that. So, that includes Perryton, who has been impacted by a tornado somewhat recently, a year or two ago. Around this time, a year or two ago actually. And Booker. That intersection, that some, Huntoon, Twitchell, and even more. This does include the Perryton airport, which couldn't tell you if it was a national airport or just a regional airport, to be honest here, but Corey Gherkin in Shawnee County, right up here. So like I said, Arkansas City, this is coming for you. It's a destructive, severe thunderstorm with large and extremely dangerous hail. Our hail is our main threat here for this storm specifically, but this is baseballs falling out of the sky over. I want to say that's Gouda Springs, possibly. You know what I mean. So these are baseballs falling on top of Gouda Springs and eventually Arkansas City, all in Kansas. So we also have Storm Chaser Rob following from the back. We have Corey Gherkin at the top left here, who is right here. Here's Corey moving east. We have Ryan Pitt here, stationed just east of Arkansas City as the supercell approaches. I'm still shocked this doesn't have a tornado warning. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Twitchell, come on. Get in shelter. This is a tornado. Most likely, possibly even a tornado warning. Well, there should be a tornado warning, possibly even a tornado itself on the ground. We can't confirm that yet, but like, currently looking through some things right now. I mean, if you were to look at this storm, you would think, like, especially the velocity, you would think that this might have a tornado warning on it, especially in the previous frames. I mean, come on. Come on. Come on. What I mean by velocity cup is when these reds and greens and blues are touching. I mean, look. Touching. You can't see that, can you? Alright, so they're touching, right? Didn't mean to do that. Look, still. This one not so much. Not so much. But then look. Actually, yes, here too. Boom, boom, boom. And then we had this frame, which should have been a tornado warning anyway, but you know, like, come on. That's so obvious. Again. Once again. Most obvious frame for a tornado warning yet. And they just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for it. Not even tornado possible tech. Who's doing this? Albuquerque? Armadillo! Where are you? Armadillo! Lock in! Who is issuing these tornado warning? This is Nebraska here. Alright, so we do officially have a tornado warning in Nebraska. Nebraska is now under, area Nebraska is under a tornado warning. So, here we go. Doing thing real quick. Alright. All good. So we're looking at this Nebraska tornado warning. Dude. So this gets a tornado warning. This gets a tornado warning. Yet this doesn't. Are we joking? Are we joking? This is just not rad. This is okay, yeah, alright, there we are. This isn't a radar dead zone, because of course it is. Come on. Alright, so I'm still really annoyed about that Texas storm that somehow doesn't have a tornado warning. But here we have a tornado warning in Nebraska for a little beam that is barely even flipping rotating. All right. Who should this? Bro, none of these National Weather Service offices are locked in right now. Especially you. Armillo. Where are you? Armillo. No. Armillo is actually selling the bag so hard. Like, come on, dude. It's dude, come on. Not locked at all, bro. They're not locked. Probably once our tornado warning goes away, we're gonna have to sign off for the night. Alright. At least cycling right now, so at least, okay, right now they have an excuse to not have a tornado warning. But like the past 20 frames they had no excuse. Zero circle. Why circle? Why so many circle? This one's a Pac-Man! I just found Pac-Man. Or gaming. Pac-Man. I found Pac-Man. That's crazy. You can see the hook of composite, bro. Come on. Alright, let's go down here. And oh my gosh, that's not the right radar. So, okay. Hold on. Alright, Ryan Pitt, you on the move? You're on the move in the right direction. We like this a lot. This one is a rad commentary, guys, from Ryan Pitt. Destination's on his right, alright. I don't know where he's going. I don't know where he's going. It's gonna close him into nothingness. Alright, bye-bye. Toodaloo. He goes bye-bye. He's going off into nothing. Right, for anyone new, we are tracking a possible tornado on the ground right here, just north and east of Perryton, Texas. Now this is unwarned, and I don't. What just And whoa. Alright, so I think we got a situation on our hands. We have a hook trying to form right there. And we have our supercell. And if we go right in here where the hook is, just like this. Oh! What do we see? We see green and red coming in. So, I think we could have a embedded supercell. Will it produce is unlikely. Could we get a tornado warning for it? Is somewhat likely, believe it or not. Let's go to our tornado warning up here. Or not, what? Up here in Nebraska. And here we are right there. And where was Pac-Man? I think this was Pac-Man. There's Pac-Man. We love Pac-Man. Pac-Man's awesome. And besides Pac-Man 2, very wide-mouthed Pac-Man anyway. So there is our rotation heading northeast. And we might get another tornado warning for this right here. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. But as soon as we have no tornado warnings active, we will most likely end our coverage. We could come back for round 2 of our coverage. Do a little part 1, part 2 action, but whether we do that is unknown at this time. It's to be disclosed, so make sure to join my Discord server to stay tuned. And speaking of tornado warnings, so let's go back down here. Of course, Core just turned very loud. Alrighty, so this is impacting Arkansas City right now. We have Ryan Pitt escaping the storm, it would seem. There it is to his north. And let's just take a gander at the radar loop here. Holy, that's a good one. This is a beefy storm. This is a really beefy storm. Oh my gosh. Got a beefer. Got a chonker right here. So here it is impacting Wellington, now Arkansas City, and this is bringing with it destructive hail and 60-mile-an-hour winds that will be doing damage